I don't want a regular guy. I know exactly what I want. I don't want a 9-to-5 guy, and I know that that isn't for me. And forgive me if I just want the finer things in life.
There was something so odd about watching a spoiled, entitled, selfish woman who's never worked for anything and just expects everything from a man talk about what she wants out of a man in the modern dating marketplace today. Case in point.
I know exactly what I want. I don't want a 9-to-5 guy, and I know that that isn't for me. And forgive me if I just want the finer things in life.
The finer things in life? So
Yes.
you're saying that a regular guy cannot give you the finer things in life? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying that. Please don't mistake that for a 9-to-5 guy can't give me the finer things in life, and I'm not shallow. So please don't receive that or take that in. But it's just that I know exactly what I want and what I bring to the table. And I know that I'm bigger than the scheduled 9-to-5 guy, man.
Bigger than that. Okay.
So
Okay.
I want to be able to take vacations when I want
Okay.
with you,
All right.
and you're not able to
On my
do
dime.
that. Or I'm able to, buy different things. And I don't want to be perceived as materialistic, but I think that I deserve a woman of my caliber.
Okay.
And what I represent and who I present myself as. I definitely feel like I deserve the finer things in life. And I don't think that a 9-to-5 man can't give me that, but I just feel like that just doesn't align with what I'm trying to go for in life. And I feel like I've settled for that, but
and
I'm
it
no
didn't work
longer
out for you.
I'm no longer willing to negotiate that or compromise with a 9-to-5 guy anymore, just because I know that I'm worth a little bit more.
Before she continues on, let me say this. For all of the women that watch content like this, do understand that you not wanting to settle for a guy has nothing to do with what you actually want out of life. See, we are only owed what we deserve. Take the average of the guys that you've dated within the last 5 to 10 years. Who is that person? What does he look like? What type of jobs does he have? How does he treat you? Average that out, and that's what you deserve in the future. You have to consider yourself a product on the dating marketplace, and every product has a price. And if your price are ranked somewhere between a 4 to, let's say, a 7, then you can't out of nowhere expect the top echelon of guy. The second thing is, a guy of high value or a guy that's worth his weight in salt is smart enough to create the businesses, and outside if he's doing something illegal, but is smart enough to create these businesses. So trust and believe most of these men that have the degree of work acumen are looking at the way that you're saying things and they're receiving that information back. I can tell you right now, a guy that can afford the type of lifestyle that she's talking about, I would listen to the words that she was saying and just assign her for ass. She is a slightly above average looking airhead. She has no idea whatsoever of the type of work, grind, and effort that it takes to become a man that can just take trips whenever he wants. And she doesn't understand that most men in that type of entrepreneurial lifestyle can't just take trips whenever they want. But I would listen to the things that she would say, such as, I am not materialistic. I am not shallow. However, I am above a 9-to-5 earner. Shout out to all of the blue collar gangsters that are down into the building. All of the men that continue to make this world go round and round. I wish you had an option to stop providing services to women like this that will never appreciate you for the things that you have learned within your life to continue to make this world spin. There's something that Kevin Samuels always used to say, in that he was not here to shift and change your standards. However, the type of guy that you are looking for, which is a top percenter guy, is that guy looking for you and truly considering you for a relationship. But maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. Maybe she has a lot to bring to the table. So let's keep listening.
Okay, and I understand that, and I'm sure that there are a lot of women who feel like that, who actually share your sentiment, right? And so
There's a lot of delusion out there.
what I want to know from a male's perspective, try to understand a woman like you a little bit more is You don't want a 9 to 5 guy, right?
No.
So what is it exactly that you're aiming for right now, currently in your life?
So what I'm interested in is an entrepreneur in a bank investment guy, or someone in real estate, or someone within the entertainment industry, someone who is free to make their own schedule and able to do their own things while able to make their own money and make their own schedule as well. I'm interested in that because I feel like that's what I'm worth.
Yeah, to your worth, corporate Tupac, a bank investment guy. What does that even mean? Like, corporate Tupac that could just make his schedule up. He could just fly to Dubai because that's what you're worth.
I want to be able to vacation when I want to vacation. I want to
got
be
y'all
able
messed
to
up.
buy the things that I want to buy, and also my partner be able to do those things and understand my value and my worth, and not necessarily saying that my value and my worth is based on materialistic things, but it's just that, like, I want to be spoiled. I want to be treated like a princess. I want to be treated like I am that girl, you know, especially with the social media generation.
Okay.
We see all the finer things, and we see people
You're a
living
product
a
of that.
life.
Yeah,
And
and
I'm
you want
not
that.
like, you know, just totally, but I just think that, like, you know, I want to be able to travel when I want and have good weather and see good weather, or have fun when I want to. And I want my partner to be able to provide those things for me, because I provide those things for myself.
I was sitting across from the dinner table from her. In my mind, it would be like, what's that Snoopy cartoon? Babble, babble, babble. Makes no sense, makes no sense. What I find interesting is that she's establishing that she lives in reality, especially in the social media world. But essentially, through her womanese, what she's saying is that I don't give a shit about any of that. I don't care about the reality. Even though I acknowledge that social media is not real, I want this for me. Oh, but I'm not materialistic. Please don't pin that up on me. I just want what I want, to be treated like a princess. Notice these women, and well, they never say treated like a queen. Why? Because generally a queen has work to do. Established with the kingship, they want to be treated like the daughter of the queen. They want to be treated like a baby. Handled with kid gloves, boundaries of a child, on your dime. Let's go.
So you say you provide those things for yourself.
Yes.
Now, so can you provide those things for yourself and your partner also?
No.
Well,
Would you be able here because to me it sounds like it's just about you,
Yeah,
right?
me.
And don't get me wrong. And what I'm talking about is that I hear this a lot, right? Like what we deserve versus what we can also give back, or strikingly two different things,
yeah.
right? What about what the man deserve in this relationship? Do you ever think about it, and what do you think it is?
So I would say to that is I'm very giving. I want to see people do well around me, and I also want those around me to feel appreciated. So I don't want them to ever feel like they're being used, you know, like I'm just using them. I want them to feel appreciated and like the energy is being reciprocated.
How do you do that, mama?
Okay.
So I definitely make sure that even if I don't have it, I make sure that I'm going to spend my last on you. You probably don't know that it's my last, but I'm going to make sure that I make you feel special in those ways that I like to feel special. And hopefully my love language is your love language. But even if it's not, I'm going to attend to it.
But Amani, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Just real quick, too. Also notice she's a very feminine young woman, and I will give her that. But notice her body language when asked this question where she has to give to somebody else. You could tell this is something that she's not really thought about before because, again, she's selfish and entitled. She thinks about what a man can do for her, right? But also notice her body language. This is something you guys also got to be mindful of. I believe it was around here.
Being reciprocated.
Okay.
So I definitely make sure that even if I don't have
She touched him. Okay. There was no need to touch the man right here, but it's a way to let your guard down, to let your defenses down, to ask her much more simpler, softer questions that really don't put her back up against the wall, and then also distract you from her non-answer. This is femininity right here, guys. Understand the tricks. And by you, guys, also understand, don't get mad at women that have all of these expectations and shit on the average man within our world. Today, they're just a walking red flag that tells you not to give them any attention. She's doing you a favor.
The problem I'm having with this right now is that we have a lot of audience members who are
Don't
regular
challenge me.
9 to 5 guys, right? And we have a lot of mothers who are 9 to 5 mothers. And the problem I'm having with this is this.
By the way, this is why Kevin Samuels blew up the way that he did, because the way that he's talking to her right now is what we've seen throughout mainstream popularized media for decades, right? Hearing unrealistic and hearing delusion, hearing no accountability for the double speak. And the man's response is kid like gloves, right? Not really hammering in or these questions right here. Meanwhile, you go on daytime talk show TVs, men say something that's messed up or contradictory, and they go in on the men. They're screaming at the man while he's on the couch, right? Maury's show, they're booing him for having sex with this whore that's testing 5 different people while she doesn't get booed, right? It's all constructed around, they're women at the end of the day. So, but the psychology behind it is actually fascinating, because women don't like it when they're challenged with questions like this, right? Which is why they buck up at questions such as, what do you bring to the table? Or explain why your body count doesn't matter. And you hold their feet to the fire. Men more so like to see that. But guess what? Men are not buying most of the products in the world today. Mostly women are. So this strategy is often pushed by our media today from a media consumption or visual perspective, because it's more profitable to do so.
Concept of like, we have to be here in order to fulfill this, right? And don't get me wrong, you have your qualities and you set them according to who you are. I have my qualities and I set them to according to who I am, and likewise with our audience. But the thing about, I guess what I'm trying to ask you is that,
why are you so unrealistic?
why is it that a 9 to 5 guy can't give you those things?
A 9 to 5 guy can definitely give me those things, but it's just like this.
Okay.
If I'm not willing to compromise with that anymore. I'm not.
Why is that?
Because I've done that in the past and I know where that led me to.
But that's
and
what you
I don't want to
deserve.
be a type of person that I'm just letting my past, dictate my future.
Right.
But I'm also...
So it's like, irrespective of the data in the past, let me be unrealistic of what I want in the future.
realistic, and I've given people the benefit of the doubt and allowed men to come into my space and they're not where I am, or just
Come to
giving
my
me the
space
bare
means get up
minimum.
in
I
my
don't
guts.
think that the bare minimum excites me anymore. It actually doesn't. Like I said, the expectations. So it's just like, if you feel like you deserve this, and stand on that and stick to your script. And that's what my dad always told me, like, stick to your script, make sure that you do this and do that and do this and do that. And I have not done that. I've just stuck to the bare minimum, and I've been okay with that because that's what somebody offered me. But just because somebody's offering you something, that doesn't mean that it's just that. It's just a cap to that. No, that's just that person. And I think that a lot of women settle for those circumstances because, like for me, in my experiences, before my ex-boyfriend, I didn't have anybody like him. So when he was doing things for me and everything like that, I didn't have that ever. So I was just like, wow, this is a lot. Like, I was surprised, but I was also enthusiastic, and I was happy and genuinely, like, grateful. But also I knew that I wanted a little bit more. But then it's a part of me that felt like maybe I was asking for too much. But now...
Poor guy, right? Y'all want to blame him now that he's a dog. He gave you everything that you needed, and it still wasn't enough after you accepted trash previously. And let me also say that to the women as well that are angry at my comments. What do you mean she can't want better for herself? My thing is that if you do not work on what things that you can offer a man of that type of status, or even like the average status. See, the thing is that she creates new standards for herself without working on anything within herself. And I can tell that based off of the kind of conversation that she's having. This is very smooth brain conversation. This is very surface level conversation, right? When you ask her, what can you give to a man? It's nothing. She offers nothing, right? Like, Let's say that she's basing what she thinks that she deserves off of the like ratio on her Instagram. But men that are looking for queens may at first be looking for arm candy. But if it's upstairs, like, there's only but so much we can do with you, baby. That's it. But I find more often than not, women like this don't even know how to make eggs.
I should have just stuck to my boundaries. And I think that once women stick to their boundaries and stick to what they want, you get what you deserve.
Nope.
You don't just settle for what someone's giving you. And I think that that's important.
Did Disney tell you that?
So yeah, I think that stick to your script, set boundaries with all your relationships and what your expectations are, and you'll get what you want.
Yes, queen, manifest. You gonna get it. Just sing Ciara's prayer. It worked for her. It'll work for you too. Faith without works is absolutely dead. Wasn't it Jesus? Wasn't it the Bible that said faith without works is dead? I wish you the best, mama. I really do. But unless you can be around these type of men to understand what value that you can truly give to these men, they will forever use you as their personal pincushion for a finite amount of time. You'll move from relationship to relationship, wanting the expectation, the limelights, the glitz and the glitter of the lifestyles that you see upon Instagram. Because in fact, being a little bit above average looking within your case is probably going to be your biggest relationship downfall. But the way that you conceive the world around you, and especially men, makes me think that you are a very empty person. I don't like to use this word often because I'm not a psychologist, but you give off narcissistic vibes. It's all about you. Me. I. But we did not hear in that long diatribe anything that you could do for a man that would meet those requirements. This is not main chick behavior. This is side chick only. So I looked for and found her Instagram because I just realized that that conversation was filmed over a year ago just to see, am I off, right? Is good old MTR, is he losing it? Is anything new? Is anything changed? So you'll see the classic IG profile of just her in exotic locations. Of course, a booty pic every now and again. I believe that's Lamborghini in the emblem. So yeah, projects this lifestyle with no man in sight. I just got to think, like, you know, is this a satisfying way to live? Seems very shallow and empty to me, but you know, who am I to judge? And no, I'm not going to drop her IG down up in there because I don't want you guys to go over there and bother her. But shout out to 8 at the Table for hosting this fantastic conversation here today. But yeah, we're living in a culture today where everyone wants to be a boss, be an entrepreneur, F the 9 to 5, and they glamorize this entrepreneurial lifestyle while at the same time shunning the 9 to 5ers. They shit on the blue collar savages for the highlighted fantasy thought of what they think that their life can be or what they want it to be like, but meanwhile could never afford it for themselves, essentially just wanting to skip the line for this more shallow type of lifestyle while leaving a wake of good men that would treat them right in their rear view mirror without ever considering that the ones that have busted their ass to be at the pinnacle of earners after working so hard to grind to be in that position, why would they want you to be their queen or princess, as she put it, based off of nothing? This amongst the many reasons why it's so tough to date nowadays. Questions, comments, concerns. Y'all already know what to do. Mediocre tutorials and reviews at gmail.com. Guys, write your comments down below. Let's have a conversation about this one. And I hope to see you soon. Until next time, YouTube. Peace.
You don't wanna see me get vexed. Bars on your phone, tell a man you can't jet. The big the ones who can't stretch. Breaking the neck when we in the car next. You don't wanna see me get vexed. Bars on your phone, tell a man you can't jet. The big the ones who can't stretch. Breaking the neck when we in the car next. That bars need defibrillation ASAP. Get boxed with a straight gap. I'm reminded of mind state they lack. Every time that they incline, we go